All right, we're back here rocking and rolling on this Friday from the Princeton Orthopedic Associates Studios. 609-919-9200 is the number if you want to hop on board. Fox Sports 920 The Jersey, 920 AM. We're worldwide on the web at 920thejersey.com. We got Davon Reed in the studio right now. We're going to talk a little Phoenix Suns basketball, a little Jim Larinaga, and also a great event coming up that you could get involved with in the community tomorrow. That's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Ewing Senior Community Center, and Davon Reed is kind enough to hop on board with us right now. Davon, welcome to the studios. Thanks so much, and how are you?
Pretty good, man. Appreciate you having me here today.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. So it's all about the U. We know that.
Yes,
I always
sir.
enjoy going down to Miami and getting my Joe Stone crabs and all that stuff. I have a lot of friends that went to Miami. How was it like for you going to school at the University of Miami?
Man, going to Miami was a great experience. I wanted to, when I was choosing a school to go to, I wanted to play in the best conference in the country in the ACC. Coach L was obviously recruiting me, and I just saw what type of character he had, what type of leadership he had, and I knew that was somebody I definitely wanted to grow under. And, I wanted him to be my coach, and then, it's Miami. You can't really beat that. So I knew I wanted to get away from the cold weather. So, having 85 to 90 degree weather every day was amazing.
Now, I'll be honest with you. If I went to Miami, I think I'd fail out in the first semester because you have beautiful women, you have the great weather, the great food, South Beach, all that. How did you keep your focus at Miami?
It's definitely a lot of temptation, but, for me personally, I knew I had a greater purpose, what I was there for, and I'm not going to lie, I had my fun. I went out, I enjoyed myself. Me and my teammates enjoyed ourselves, but ultimately, we wanted to be there and develop our craft, and we were there to win basketball games, and I think that, was the biggest thing that, allowed me to stay focused out there.
I'm a big Coach L guy. He's been on this show a lot of times before, and I remember him from George Mason and that improbable run, and then always those great speeches that you always see on ESPN, dancing in the locker room
speaker.
Before a Miami game. The first time you met him,
Yes.
What do you remember about meeting Coach L?
My first memory of Coach L, I remember after a game, and I want to say it was an AAU game, he called me and he was like, I love your game, but I feel like you can rebound more for a guard. And that's what I tell, one of the stories I always tell people. That stood out to me because all these other coaches are trying to sell me a dream. You're going to come here, you're going to be this, do this. And, he told me what he loved about my game, but he was giving me advice before I was even anywhere near ready to commit to him. So, that stood out to me, just seeing how, passionate he was about his players and the game itself. So that stood out to me.
You like how he was authentic with you and was
Yes,
just
sir.
genuine about it.
Yeah.
How did he make you not only a better basketball player, but also a better person?
Man, he taught me so much about the game. I think he taught myself and my other teammates so much about the game. But just the way he speaks, you talk about his speeches, and he's a player's coach, and just the philosophies that we develop. Just helping us become men off the court and be a model citizen in the community, not just the community that we are from, but the communities in Miami, the younger kids that look up to us, just taught me so many different things, and I'll forever be grateful for that.
On the court, what was your best moment at Miami?
It's hard to narrow it down to one single thing. I got some things I can say under my belt that not a lot of people can say. I beat Duke.
Well, let me interrupt you real quickly. It's the radio, so say whatever the heck you want to say, just don't curse.
No, I got you. So many great memories. I can't, narrow it down to one, but beating Duke, beating Carolina, going to the Sweet 16, making it back to the NCAA tournament, even our run to the finals of the NIT tournament my sophomore year.
You guys beat Temple.
Yeah, yes,
I'm
sir.
a Temple guy. I was broadcasting that game. I didn't like it.
That was a hard-fought game, man.
Yeah.
That was a good little run we had. But, so many great memories, just Puerto Rico tournament, winning that. So, just a lot of great memories and a lot of great moments I'll forever remember.
How about Jaquan Newton? Because that kid could play basketball.
Quan is – I've had the pleasure of see Quan, in a light that a lot of people haven't seen because, he's been my roommate for 2 years. So Quan is, I feel like a player that's and a player and a person that's misunderstood, but just a truly authentic dude. One of my best friends, one of my brothers for life, and I think step up and rise to the occasion and lead this team, as the only senior this year.
Davon Reed with us right now in the Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios. It's the Zach Gelb Show. Growing up in this area, you went to Princeton Day School. You had 2,000 points, over 2,000 points in your career. What does this area mean to you?
Man, just the foundation of, my love for the game of basketball. I got to give a major shout out to somebody. I feel like sometimes I forget to do this, and I shouldn't. Coach Howard Davis, for a lot of people in Ewing, but especially for me and my best friends, DeAndre Carlton, putting the ball in our hands when, he didn't have a son our age, just spending a lot of time with us in the gym, developing that passion and love for the game. And, him and so many other people around this area, Rob Brown, my high school coach, Paris McLean, different people, helping me out along the way. But this is definitely a sports town, basketball town, and, just to be able to represent Ewing and Mercer County well, to be drafted and make my claim in the NBA is just an amazing feeling.
And there's so much just tradition in this area with college basketball, with Princeton, and then you could also go up to New York for the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. Go down and you see the Big Five in Philadelphia. How aware were you of the significance of college basketball in this area growing up as a kid?
I've been watching college basketball since as long as I can remember. My dad, first and foremost, the number one person when it comes to this basketball thing, putting the ball in my hands. I can remember Saturdays spending all day watching basketball, college basketball. Grew up a Carolina fan. Would go to the Palestra and watch games. So I know about the Big Five growing up. It was always in my life, So I think that just continued to drive me and make me want to become the best player I can be.
When was that moment that, because when people play basketball, people play baseball, football, whatever it is as a kid, everyone when they're 8 or 9 says, when they're in school, I want to be a professional athlete. Yeah, I did it too. And then I realized my 40 wasn't good enough and I wasn't strong enough, things like that. When was it for you that you realized, hey, I am really, really good at basketball?
I've always been good locally. So, I think when you get out on the AAU scene and match up against these players that you've never heard of or seen before, especially like 8th grade, before rankings really, you're just going out and matching up against the best players in the country. First taste I got, when I really got on the AAU scene and started playing like EYBL, the Nike League, I think that's when I kind of, saw like where I matched up against the best players in the country, and I'm like, this is something I can do. That's when I first realized that college basketball was a sure thing for me.
What other teams recruited you to go to college?
Man, I was fortunate to have over like 20 offers. Xavier, Miami, Wake Forest, Temple, St. Joe's, Memphis, UConn, Georgetown. The list goes on and on.
You name it, they wanted you.
I had a lot of schools, especially in this area.
So now getting forward to your professional career now. Draft night, second round by the Suns. Take me through those emotions since it's been your dream your entire life.
It's so crazy because you got to go back a little bit further than just the actual draft itself. Started out right after the college basketball season, just lost, came home and decided to pick an agent because I didn't speak to any agents while the season was going on. Came home, sat with 4 different agents, finally decided to sign with Steve Pina at ASM under Andy Miller. We talked about it. We came up with a game plan, but we were hearing that my draft stock was 40 to undrafted and more leaning towards the undrafted part. So had to go to Portsmouth. I don't know if you know what Portsmouth is, but had to battle my way from Portsmouth and only 5 invites go out to the combine. Was living in Vegas for a while. Got the call I'm going to the combine. So I went to the combine, had an amazing experience there, and right after that, jumped right into the workouts. From the combine, I went to 2 different workouts for different teams, came to Vegas for a little bit, and then I was on the road and ended up having 18 workouts. And I tell people, I feel like God uses me in a way to be an example. I had 18 workouts just to go 32nd in the draft when my stock was projected to be 40 to undrafted. So hearing my name called on as a 32nd pick, man. I can't even describe it. You know, my boys were with me, my family was with me. I decided not to go to the draft, and oh man, I'll never forget that day. That'll be something I tell my kids, my family for forever and forever. That was, you know, that's something you dream about when you actually hear your name called. It's just the most surreal feeling you can ever think of.
And you could tell the hard work that you put into it, because I get to see you right now.
Yeah.
And it looks, you get very emotional talking about it.
It's crazy, man. I'm just so blessed to be able to, you know, have these experiences, you know.
Did the Knicks, did the Nets, did the Sixers, did they give you any look?
I worked out with the Sixers, I worked out with the Knicks, and I worked out with the Knicks. Actually, the Knicks was the last workout I had at the draft. I worked out with them the day before the draft, actually.
I have to just check on this. Phil Jackson didn't fall asleep during your workout, did he?
Nah, I got a chance to meet Phil Jackson and the entire Knicks staff.
How about meeting Phil?
Legend, man. You know, just that triangle offense, he had us, you know, working on that in the workouts. Usually most workouts is 3-on-3 and, you know, a few drills, shooting. So, you know, just to see his basketball mind and, you know, try to see in such a short amount of time in those workouts, like what players can fit into the triangle system. And, you know, just he actually got up and spoke to us a couple times, you know, just dropping knowledge on, you know, what we can do in the future and just different things to help us in our game and help, you know, learn that triangle offense. So, you know, that was definitely a cool experience. Who
was your pro NBA team growing up as a kid? Who'd you root for?
I rooted for the Philadelphia Sixers because of Allen Iverson. Then once AI left the Sixers, I became a Cleveland fan for LeBron James. And then when he went to Miami, I was a Heat fan, but I couldn't be a Cleveland fan again. You know, so I kind of only rooted for players. I'm at teams for players.
Now we all know how great players AI and LeBron currently, you know, still is.
Yeah.
As someone that this is now their profession, what did you admire most about both of their games?
For me, with AI was just his relentlessness, you know, going out, you know, being maybe 6 foot, going out and battling with the trees every night, going in the lane, taking hits, still making shots, just his ability to score and his flashiness. And he was flashy, but he played so hard. And, you know, I think that's one of the things that people don't even remember about Allen Iverson, just his scoring, but he played so hard. That was something that I really admired, you know, his passion for the game. And then LeBron, arguably already not even finished his career, one of the greatest players ever, just adding so much to his game after every year and just being able to play pretty much 1 through 5. And that's just something that I admire and try to implicate in my game, just being able to do a little bit of everything.
How about the current shape of the league? Because right now we look at it as 2 teams have a chance to get to the finals.
Yeah.
LeBron's team and then also the team with the Golden State Warriors. And probably the Warriors are going to win it and win it this year and maybe the year after that. How about that as someone that's now a competitor in this league?
Well, I'm looking to go out. I'm willing to compete every night. You know, that for me, I'm not marking nobody down for a championship. You know, on anybody that's suited up against me, and I feel like I'm sure most of the other pros feel the same way. You know, we got to go out and compete. They put their shoes and shirt on, just like everybody else. Of course, they're a great team, but you know, we're here to compete. So that's pretty much all I can say about that. You know, the league is a lot of off-season moves happen this year, so we'll see. You never know what could happen.
With the Sixers, because that gets a lot of play here locally, and you grew up watching Allen Iverson and all of that.
Yeah.
It's the Sixers team. You have Markelle Fultz, you have Ben Simmons, you have Joel Embiid, and there's a lot of buzz right now with the Philadelphia 76ers. A good defender also in Robert Covington. Yeah. How good do you think the Sixers could be this year?
They got a chance to be really good. You know, they made some good off-season moves. You know, picking up J.J. Redick and picking up, obviously, drafting Markelle Fultz, #1. You know, that's big time. They got Ben Simmons ready to play fresh off the injury and Joel Embiid as well. So on paper they look pretty good, but like you said, like I said earlier, you got to go out and play. So we'll see again.
Davon Reed with us right now. We'll get to the event in just a second coming up this weekend, and we encourage everyone to head out and support Davon and really go out and meet him with everything going on this weekend. Your performance, though, in the Summer League, averaging 14 points per game, was sensational. How about the Summer League experience for you?
Summer League was a great experience, not in a positive way. It was nothing that I expected. You know, you see it, but it was just a great experience. You know, my first taste of NBA basketball, and you know, I was fortunate enough to go out there with my team and just try to win some games and shot the ball pretty well.
You got some players also in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, we got
Josh Jackson, Devin Booker.
Yes, sir.
A little bit about them.
Haven't had a chance to see a ton of you know, Booker, but you know, we played pickup and worked out a few times. Dude's game speaks for itself. You know, very talented. You know, leader of our team from what I've seen so far, and I think, you know, he has a shot to be great.
So tell me what's happening this weekend.
So tomorrow I'm having a signing for the community in Ewing. You know, just a way for me to give back and get back to the community in Ewing that's done so much for me, especially when it comes to the game of basketball. So I felt like I wanted to do something before I leave and go to Phoenix for good. So tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. At what we know in Ewing is formerly as the JCC, or the Ewing Senior Community Center, I'm having an autograph signing tomorrow.
What is that like for you? Because you grew up looking up to a lot of these basketball players. Now kids are going to be coming to this tomorrow, and they're going to be saying, you know, Mr. Reed, it's so nice to meet you and everything, and they're going to be having a big smile, and you're going to make their day, you know, great for the rest of that day.
That's what it's all about, man. At the end of the day, we got to realize we're just playing basketball, playing sports. You know, we're not doing anything crazy like, you know, doing brain surgery or saving lives. So, you know, my main purpose for this is just to give back and to inspire, you know. You know, there was people that I looked up to. There was nobody in my area necessarily that I can say, you know, he played in the NBA, he played college basketball, that I really know that was like significantly older than me. So just a chance to inspire and let people know that, you know, just like I did it, you have a chance to do it. You know, just a matter of the work that you put in.
Well, great stuff. We appreciate what you're doing in the community, and we look forward to watching you kick some ass on the court this year. And hopefully you have a nice, very long career, and we're having you back in again real soon. We appreciate it, Davon.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Davon Reed with us right there on the Zach Gelb Show, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow at the Ewing Senior Community Center. Make sure you go out there and check it out. Get up early, get your butt to the Ewing Senior Community Center, and you'll meet a future star, hopefully, in the NBA in Davon Reed. 5:32 is the time. We'll take a break. We still got the Mr. Softy segment to do on the Zach Gelb Show. We'll talk a little bit more Eagles and baseball as well. We'll take a break here on the Zach Gelb Show.